are pleased to have in our office today Peter Leonard Morgan. Peter, he is the president of the Dallas Area Association of Realtors. Peter, thank you very much for your time, and I'm sorry about your foot.
Well, Natasha, thank you so much for having me, and I apologize, everyone. I'm looking so casual because I just had a running injury on Saturday, and I've just been next door, actually, to the orthopedic and sports injury people, so I couldn't wear long pants, you know, because I had this thing on.
It's okay. Forgive you.
Thank you.
So, Peter, thank you again for being here. Tell us a little bit about you, some, history about you, bio about
Absolutely.
you, and also, how did you get to be involved with DAAR?
Well, it's funny, isn't it, how life's rich pageant of things that happen. You never know where you're going to end up. And I'm from England, originally from London. I was selling exotic cars in London for many, many years. Then I got into aviation, started selling aircraft, which I loved. And that brought me to America in 2001. I kept selling aircraft, but I was always on a plane, always traveling, and I got tired of it. And a friend of mine said to me, Peter, you should get into real estate, you'd really love it. I said, that sounds like a great idea. So I did that about 9-10 years ago. I got my license, I got into real estate. And it's interesting, you talk about how I got to this situation with DAAR as the president. And it's interesting because, to be a realtor, which means you're abiding by the code of ethics of the National Association of Realtors, you have to belong to the National Association of Realtors, the State Association, which here is the Virginia Association of Realtors, and a local association. And I selected DAAR because it is local, because it's intimate, because it represents Loudoun County, where I work and live. And it's one of those funny places where, a bit like Cheers, you go in and everyone knows your name. You're not just a small cog in a big machine, you're a bigger cog in a smaller machine, although we're actually a mid-sized association. So we represent realtors in Loudoun County, and we represent realtors' clients, their buyers and sellers, and owners of homes and renters in Loudoun County.
Yeah, wow. So how did you get to be part of DAAR?
Great question too. So what happened was, it was a gradual thing. One day, it was suggested by someone in my office, hey, why don't you become an ambassador? I said, I know what an ambassador is, but what is it in DAAR terms?
Yeah.
And we call it DAAR, which is DAAR. What is it in DAAR terms? I said, well, basically, you present at every company meeting in my brokerage what's going on at DAAR for like 5 minutes. I said, great, I'll do that. And then one thing led to another, and I had a meeting, I'll never forget, we went to a wonderful event at the clerk of the circuit court, where we all went to visit the clerk, he showed us around, and then we all went for a little drink afterwards. And I sat down with a very nice gentleman called Lars Hendrickson, you may know. And Lars Lars was with Ida Dennis, who was my predecessor. And they said, Peter, you're on the board. So I was on the board already. So I got onto the board. And they said, have you considered, running for president? I said, no, I haven't actually. And they explained to me how that would work. And I thought, well, that would be good because I like to give back. Yeah. Like you do. I like to give back to my community and to my association. So I did that. I ran to the board. I was then elected, which is great, and became the president-elect last year, and then the president this year. But just rolling the clock back a bit, I got onto the board initially because a number of friends of mine in the business said, it might be worth your while getting on the board so you can contribute to a bit more to the realtor world that we're in, and help and get involved with our charities that we support, and more than that. So not that I wanted it, but what happened is getting involved in all of these different things, the board, committees, and now, as the president, is I got to know a lot more realtors. And it's funny, what happens is you start to do business with each other, and things that you didn't look for happen, a bit more opportunity, if you like. So, by giving back, you get back without wanting it.
And that's how I believe it too. I mean, when you give back, things will come back to you too in another way.
Exactly,
so,
Natasha.
Tell us a little bit about different program of DAAR. So I am a member. I did join 2-3 years ago, I think.
Yes.
I do serve on the finance committee. I'm honored to be part of this wonderful organization, nonprofit. I know we have a lot going on during the year. Can you share with us some of the programs?
Absolutely. And first of all, it's fantastic having you as not just a member, but as an affiliate and now on the Budget and Finance Committee, and it's just because we need that energy and input from all the different angles. But we have a number of committees that really work hard for its members. For example, we have the Government Affairs Committee, which is really active and it's really involved and it gets stuff done. And they basically consist of realtor members who know a bit about what's going on and have been doing it quite a long time and have an impact at the local elected level. So when they see something that is going to affect our customers, our clients, our members, they come to the committee and say, look, we need to address this issue. For example, in the last year or so, there has been an issue with, for example, the Board of Supervisors here in Loudoun County wanted the realtors to have to tell its buyers and sellers whether the property they were looking at was in an aircraft noise area, essentially.
Yes.
And while I think that's a great thing,
yes,
it's quite a burden on a realtor to find all that out. And so the Government Affairs Committee basically said, look, this is really something that should be done from the state level, at the General Assembly. And in fact, it was pushed that way, and so far, that's what's happened. So that burden on realtors has been sort of mitigated, and that requirement has now gone into an overarching disclosure, which is really important, so that buyers and sellers can look at that disclosure and realize whether their property needs to, is in an area that needs to be told, advised to buyers. We also have our community services committee, which is fantastic because it really gets involved with the community. We go to events where we meet citizens and they see what we do, but we also do things for the community. For example, Mobile Hope, which is absolutely wonderful, for at-risk youth. Laws, the Loud and Abused Women's Shelter, which is just a phenomenal organization. We not just raise money, but we collect care packages and stuff like that. But we also go to events where we will hang clothes that have been donated and we put them in the right place. So we're really on the ground level, getting involved in that sort of thing. And we have several other committees that really are there to support realtors and support buyers and sellers and renters and tenants of property in Loudoun County.
Nice. What about events? I know there is a lot. I'm looking forward to the holiday event this year. I love it.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about the events?
We have all sorts of different events. For example, we have the Economic Summit, which is a really great event where we take a big space at Hanson Park. It's a lovely the lodge at Hanson Park, a fantastic new facility. And we'll have 2 or 3 great speakers who come to talk about the economy and how it affects real estate and how it affects us.
It is important.
Which is really important. So that is a really,
because people still confused right now. Where is the market right now? Like always, people still confused. Where is the market? Is the houses gonna go up? We have shortage of selling homes. It's
absolutely, and it's really critical for realtors to understand what is going on, to understand how interest rates are affected, what makes them be affected, and how the trends are in certain areas. And so these events are great for realtors because they really sit there and listen to people who know what they're talking about and absorb that information. That's a wonderful event. Our holiday parties, we call it, is more than just a holiday party. It's the installation of the next year's board of directors, the president, and it's a fun event, but it's also an important event in our bylaws because we have to actually do that. We have to have the members come. It's a super event. Then we do a number of happy hours. Happy hours are great because we want to get other realtors to meet other realtors, connections, networking. It's just wonderful. and we have some wonderful affiliates who help with those as well. Those events, you know, who sponsor.
And I remember the vendor fair.
I was going to say that.
It was so fun.
We had so much fun at the vendor fair. I mean, it was on one of the worst
days.
days.
Thank you for doing this for us.
Yeah, no, thank you for being there. So we had the vendor fair, and we had it on one of those days when the snow was outside and it was icy, and we didn't know it was going to happen. It did happen. The turnout wasn't as good as we'd hoped, but it was amazing because I think every vendor except one was there with their tables and their products, etc., and then giveaways, and it was just a great vibe.
We got a lot of connections with
great
theaters
vibe.
too. So.
One of the great events that we do. We used to do a golf event, but we realized not everyone plays golf. I'm a terrible golfer. I like to try golf.
And there's a lot of golf tournaments in Downey County, a lot of them.
So we were trying to think, you know, what is better for more people to come and enjoy? And we decided bowling. So we did Sips and Strikes.
Yeah.
And Sips and Strikes is at the Leesburg
It was packed.
So packed, so fun. All you hear is laughter because none of us are really good bowlers and we don't care. We just have a lot of fun. You know, there was food, there was a drink, and there was a silent auction. And that silent auction raised a lot of money for our charities. So, you know.
I won two games.
Did you? You did?
I play in two.
That is wonderful. So that's, you know, another thing that we do. And I will say that anyone on the board of directors can go, I think again it's like February, it's the worst time of year, go on a bus, we all go on a bus down to Richmond, and we go to the General Assembly, and we go and meet with our senators and congressmen and congresswomen, and that is one of my favorite events, because I couldn't believe this. We're at the General Assembly, and we are introduced, the realtors are in the house. And they really, because we have over 1 million members across the country, and so we have a real big impact. You know, it's really amazing.
Thank you. So, Peter, from the time you took over, is that something you really accomplish in DAAR and you are really, really proud of? Something you brought to the table and you remember that. I know it's only September right now, but something that you brought to the table and you are proud on that it has been accomplished.
Well, you know, it's funny. I just feel that I didn't accomplish anything, but as a team, we did. And I may have been at the figurehead for a short period of time. Well, I mean, so we had a lot of changes going on, and the big ones that happened this year really were started before me. And I had to keep them going with the help of my colleagues, the immediate past president, Ida Dennis, who's amazing. She's wonderful. You know, Suzanne is our president-elect. She's amazing. We've got Charisma Ware, who's our treasurer. Super person. So two things really happened. Last year, we decided, because the world has changed so much, especially since COVID, and people don't go into the office the way they used to. So we decided to move our office, which was a much bigger office, to a smaller, really nice office in Leesburg. And we accomplished that. We moved in I think it was April, something like that, of this year. So we're really excited about that. We also went through a selection process to get a new CEO. And that was a really hard process, actually. It really took a long time. But it took a long time because we wanted the right person. And we got this amazing lady from New York, Anne Rushlow. And Anne is...
Hi, Anne.
Hi,
She's
Anne.
probably listening to us right now.
I mean, you know, she's hit the ground running. I mean, can you imagine moving from another state, many, you know, hundreds of miles away, selling your home, moving here? You know, it's such a big move. I mean, I did it myself 25 years ago when I was a young man, but I wouldn't want to do it now, and it would be really hard. So she's done it, and it's almost like she's been there for years. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So those are, I would say, accomplishments, but it wasn't me. It was a team effort.
That's great job. It's always, I say, any organization, it doesn't matter what kind of business you have, your success is because of your team, your staff. Because nobody can do everything alone. It's all about the team. And
well, it's interesting, you know, I think of myself as really, I'm much better as a, you know, I ask everyone what they think. I don't say, this is what I want to do. It's like, what do you think? What do you think? How do you think we should do this? And we get a consensus and go that way, rather than say, I want to do it this way, I want to do it that way, because I don't think
or
that works.
micromanage.
Yeah, no, totally. Exactly.
That's not your type.
And you know, we have an amazing small staff as
Yeah.
well. You know, we have Megan and Renee at the office who truly are. I got to know them really well in the last 2 years, and without them, I don't know what we do. Right?
Yeah, and thank you for bringing the free education for the
Yes.
that's very was.
I'm glad you
helpful.
mentioned that,
So thank
because
you for
we heard for quite some time that was a big deal for a lot of members, because we have to have education. We have to do X number of hours every year to keep our license, and that has a cost. And as you know, realtors don't earn a salary. They only earn money if they sell a property or rent a property. So we felt, you know, to bring in free CE, continuing education, was an important step, and it's been really welcome.
Thank you for doing
Yeah,
that for them.
no, it's great.
Yeah.
Really happy.
What is the most need, the remaining of this year, and maybe looking forward to year 2026, which is close your eye, open your eyes,
I
it's
know.
there.
It's there right now.
What
Absolutely.
what you're looking for? What you're looking for as DAAR?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. There's a few things, you know. For example, we definitely, and I know this is where you're going to be so great. You know, we've been so fortunate to have some great affiliate directors. But our affiliate membership, it's not just that we want more affiliates because we want more income. That's not really the reason. The reason is affiliates. I deal with all sorts of trades as a realtor.
Absolutely.
But I don't know much about what they do. I know a bit now because I've been
Yeah.
doing it a while, but I'm no expert, you know, and I wouldn't want to be an expert. What I really want to have is a great Rolodex of affiliates on different work parts of real estate, if you like, home services. You know, it could be lending, it could be moving and storage, it's cleaning, it's all sorts of angles. And I want to be able to have people that I can trust. And you know what? When you get affiliates who join DAAR and you get to know them, you get to trust them.
Absolutely.
Because they're not there just for the quick deal. They're there for the long-term involvement in the industry, in the community. So that's one thing that's going to be great, is building our affiliate membership, hanging on to and building our members as well, because, you know, there's been a lot of things going on in the world around us, and you know, being a realtor is not an easy job, and a lot of realtors don't stay the course.
Yeah.
And if they don't stay the course, they no longer need to be a member. So we need to help realtors. That's a huge ongoing thing, is to help realtors to succeed, so that, you know, then it becomes a situation where they're a member of DAAR and they love being a member of DAAR. I also want to make sure we've got board members for the future. People, young people. We really want to get involved in the young professional network.
Yes.
So we get younger agents, because I'm an old agent. We want young agents, young blood, young energy.
So Peter, my last question today, and you probably didn't expect I'm going to ask you this, but as one of the professional and very well known in the real estate industry yourself, where you're seeing the market? Where you're seeing the market from now to the end of the year and next year?
Super question. I see that we are starting to see an increase in inventory. We have been for a few months, because one of the problems that we've had is that since COVID, when there were mortgage rates in the 2.5% to 3% range, and of course now they're up at 7%-ish, roughly 6.5%, 7%, maybe a bit more. That has meant that a lot of the people who bought and refinanced their properties in 2021, 2022, they don't want to sell their homes unless they really have to sell them or really want to sell them. And so that's why we've seen a very low inventory over the last 2-3 years. And having a low inventory means there's, you know, not a lot to sell, but it also meant that property prices kept rising. So affordability has gone down because, you know, you've got the higher interest rates and the higher prices. You've got both of those things. So I see a good thing, which is that we are starting to see more inventory now. I think prices are really still stable. They haven't gone down. You know, we could see a little bit of a flattening of pricing in the next 6 months or so, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. A balanced market is always the best market, where it's not overly a seller's or overly a buyer's market.
Where you see the rate?
I do think, from what I've seen, and I'm truly not expert, but just reading the tea leaves and reading what's going on with the Fed, I think probably we'll see a little bit of a reduction over the next month or two. It looks to be that way. I hate to say that, you know, the unemployment numbers were not that great. I mean, they're not terrible, but they didn't go the right way, and that has an effect on the Fed's decisions, and that then correlates with, you know, interest rates on mortgages.
Yeah, I hope the interest rate, because that will help too if it can
Very much so.
decrease lower.
Absolutely.
It will help also more.
Yeah.
You know.
It's interesting, a lot of lenders, they have great programs as well.
Yes.
You know, for example, doctor programs, and,
Yes.
and they have grants. You know,
Yes, and they're trying to do.
They
to
really
help,
are.
to help buyers.
Yes, they really are trying to do that. This is good. Yeah.
Peter, thank you very much today
Thanks,
for your
Natasha.
time.
Oh.
We're so glad to have you here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for everything. We will share the link.
Lovely.
Also, how to apply and be part
Perfect.
of this great organization.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
honored to be part of you and serving with you and
Yes.
with all your staff with you.
And we
It's
feel the same way.
wonderful of what you do. So
I feel the same
thank
way.
you very much for
And
your
thank you
time.
for what you do for Loudoun County. I really appreciate it. Great.